Class 8, welcome to your geography class. In today's class, we are going to start a very new chapter, chapter number 8, India Human Resources. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss the meaning of human resource and the role of health and education in developing human resources, and as well as we'll study about the meaning of skilled and unskilled human resource, and we'll also analyze the factors responsible for development of any area, right? So let's start the chapter. Children, you must have heard about the natural resources or mineral resources. So, same way, human resources also what it's a human resources are the people who make up the workforce of a nation. So we called it human resources, right? So human resources are we people only. So we people work out, and we people work and make up the workforce of a nation. So we called it human resources, right? So human as a resource is an effort to explain populations as an asset for the economy rather than a liability. Population becomes human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training, and medical care. In fact, human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge that the people of a country possess. People as resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. So, a human resource refers to not only the people, but the people they are working, as well as the people in terms their existing productive skill as well as their abilities, right? Looking at the population from this productive aspects emphasizes its ability to contribute to the creation of the gross national product. Like other resources, a population also is a resource. As I already told you, a human resource. So this is the positive side of a large populations that is often overlooked when we look only at the negative side. So we say that overcrowding or overpopulation is not good for the economy of a country. But when we see another side of population, we'll get the positive. When we see the positive side of a large population, so there is a positive aspects or a positive or advantage of overpopulation, right? So considering only the problems of providing the population with food, education, access to health facilities, when the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, we call it human capital formation that adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation. So when a person gets good education, good health care, or good training and healthy environment, so that person can is a good investment, we can say, right? For increasing or for increasing economy of a country, of a nation, right? Okay. So investment in human capital through education, as I told you, training, medical care, health facilities, yields a return just like investment in physical capital. This can be seen directly in the form of higher incomes earned because of higher productivity of the more educated or the better trained persons, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people. So if a person is more educated, or gets good better training, or if a person gets healthier environment, then he or she will what she will produce the she or he will produce what she or he will produce better economy outcome. or she will produce a better outcome as compared to the person who gets less education or less facilities, right? So investment in human resources means investment to the or good outcome to the nation in terms of economy, right? Okay. Now India's population and its distributions as per census of 2011. India's population as on March 2011, it was recorded 1.21 billion, right? Now, India has about 2.5% of the total area of the world, but its population is about 17.5% of the total world population. It ranks next to China in population. So, China is the highest in populations, and second is India, which has the highest population in the world. Second highest, we can say. India. So India became the second country in the world after China to officially cross 1 billion mark. So although in terms of population, USA ranks third in the world population, but there is a huge gap between the population of these two countries. And third is USA, America. It ranks third, but there's a huge gap, means number of that person is much less than China and India in USA, right? So the United States has estimated that the world population is growing at an annual rate of 1.4%, whereas in India the population is growing at the annual rate of 1.64%, which is quite alarming, right? So when we see the negative side of the population, it's quite alarming, because to provide food, shelter, or water supply to a huge population like India, it's very difficult. So it's quite alarming. But when we if we see the positive side of the population, so we can say if investment is there, and if people get better training, better education, better facilities, then the outcome will be better, right? So overpopulation has both positive as well as negative side, right? Okay, now next is geographical distribution. Population of our country is not evenly distributed. Why not evenly? Because some of the areas, some of the states having like more population, and some of the states like Rajasthan, Himalayan terrain or Himalayan regions, there the population is very less, so they are unevenly distributed. So Uttar Pradesh continued to be the most populous state of the country. Underline this, with almost 200 million people living there, which is more than population of Brazil, the fifth most populous country of the world. Whereas the Himalayan state Sikkim has a population of just about 0.5 million, very less population. Such an uneven spatial distribution of population in India suggests a close relationship between population and physical, socio-economic, and historical factors. As far as the physical factors are concerned, it is clear that the climate, along with the terrain and the availability of water, largely determines the pattern of the population distribution. Consequently, we observe that the North Indian plains, deltas, and the coastal plains have higher proportion of population than the interior districts of southern and central Indian states, Himalayas, some of the northeastern and the western states. However, development of irrigation, Rajasthan, availability of mineral and energy resources in Jharkhand, and development of transport network, peninsular states have resulted in moderate to high proportion of population. Now, an area which are previously very thin populated, now among the social, economic, and historical factors of distribution of population, important ones are evolution of settled agriculture and agricultural development, pattern of human settlement, development of transport network, industrializations, and urbanization. It is observed that the regions falling in the river plains and the coastal areas of India have remained the regions of larger population concentration. So, even though the uses of natural resources like land and water in these regions have shown the sign of degradations, the concentration of populations remains high because of an early history of human settlement and development. Density of population is expressed as a number of persons per unit area. It helps in getting a better understanding of the spatial distribution of population in related to land. The density of population in India, according to the census 2011, is 382 persons per square kilometer. Just underline it. According to the census 2011, it was marked 382 persons per square kilometer and ranks third most of the among the most densely populated countries of Asia, followed by Bangladesh, that is 849 persons, and Japan, 334 persons. Bihar has the highest density of population, about 1,102 persons per square kilometer, whereas Arunachal Pradesh has the lowest density of population, only 17 persons per square kilometers. So from geographical distribution, we come to know that there are the several factors which affect the population of an area. For example, climate and your socio-economic factors, as well as your physical factors and historical factors also play a great role in the distribution of geographical distribution, right? For example, we can say that the population is the states like your Uttar Pradesh and your coastal areas, states along with the areas of coastal regions and the areas which are next to the sea or ocean. So they are highly populated. Why? Because of the transport facilities, because of the water facilities, because of the available of industries, factories nearby area and minerals in nearby area, and good water supply. So that affect the population of an area, right? So let's take an example. If we take an example of Himalayan region, because of that terrain, Himalayan areas there is lack of transport facilities, there is lack of water supply, and very extreme climate we can experience in that Himalayan region. So population is naturally very less. But when we compare to Uttar Pradesh, now Uttar Pradesh is what? It's a very populous state of India. Why it is mostly populated? Why the cities of Uttar Pradesh, or we can say why it is densely populated Uttar Pradesh? Because it's a plain area, right? Agriculture facility is there, transport facility is there, water supply is there, and the climate also is very favorable, not very cold, not very hot, right? So favorable climatic condition. So these are the factors which affect the population of an area, right? Clear? Okay. Now it's written here, Bihar has the highest density of population. Now what is density of population? That is the density of population is expressed as a number of the persons as per unit area. So Bihar has the highest density of population, which 1,102 persons per square kilometer, their population and density of population. And in Arunachal Pradesh has the lowest density of population. Why? Only 17 persons per square kilometer population, density of population is there, right? Okay. Now next come to the urban rural distribution of population. Composition of population by their respective places and residence is an important indicator which indicates the social and the economic character of a nation. of an area or of a nation. Contrary to rural populations, the proportion of urban population, that is 31.16% in India, is quite low, but it is showing that a much faster rate of growth over the decades. In fact, since 1931, the growth rate of urban population has accelerated due to enhanced economic development, more employment opportunities, better living conditions, and better services like education, health, transportations, communications, and banking, etc. So in India, since 1931, the growth rate of urban population has been accelerated, has been raised due to what? Due to enhanced economic development in the city area, more employment opportunities than the village area, then better living conditions, better services like education, health, transportations, communications, and banking facilities are there in the urban areas. That is why since 1931 the growth of urban population has been raised. The distribution of urban populations too, as in the case of total population, has a wide variations throughout the country. At the state level, the pattern of urbanization is very diverse, but economically advanced states more or less show higher levels of urbanization. All the southern states, South Indian states, like along with Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and West Bengal have higher urbanization levels than the national average, whereas Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, Assam, and Odisha are the least urbanized states of India. So just underline name of the states. All the southern states, South Indian states, along with Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and West Bengal, they have higher urbanization levels, right? Whereas Himachal Pradesh, underline this, Bihar, Assam, and Odisha, these are the least urbanized states of India. Now the level of urbanization in a country as a whole increased from 27.7% in 2001 to 31.1% in 2011. Now next is a chart given there, rural and urban population of 2000 according to the census 2011. India, in terms of crore it's written, and in the second column it's written in terms of percentage. So in in terms of crore it's written 121, and in percent 100% it's written. Rural, it has 83.3 crore population, which means 68.84%, and urban it's 37.7 crore population is there, which is in terms of percentage it is 31.16%, right? So rural has more population in terms of percentage as well as in terms of crore also. So it's a rural urban population chart given here, and this was done in the enumeration of the persons, counting of the person is done in 2011, census 2011. So children, in today's class we have done the meaning of human resource, and we also talked about the census, what is census, and what was the population of India according to the census 2011. That also we discussed, and geographical distribution we have discussed, as well as the urban rural distribution of population, that also we have studied, right? Now that's all for the day, and I'll continue this chapter in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.